Hey everyone, it's Dr. Russell, and today's video is going to be a little different than what I normally do. So normally I would share a couple health tips or talk about a deeper dive on a health topic specifically, but I wanted to talk a little bit about a major epidemic in this country when it comes to women's health care, and that really sums down to just believing women. Such a radical concept, but it seems like doctors and other healthcare practitioners in this country have a problem actually believing women when they say what they're experiencing. And I don't want this to turn too much into a rant, but I've just heard so many stories over the years of practicing. It's pretty much daily at this point that I hear something that to me is horrifying that anyone has to go through that. And in the past week or two, I've had really several more stories that just really hit home as far as just kind of how unbelievable they are. And not to give anyone's specific stories away because I want to respect people's privacy and things like that, but I will give some just real general examples of things and see, kind of share basically how bad it is. So the one most common thing that I hear, again, on pretty much a daily basis is women going to several different healthcare providers, maybe their primary care, maybe their gynecologist, maybe an endocrinologist, gastro, whatever they're dealing with. They go see different specialists. And after relaying kind of what they've been experiencing, the first response, it seems like, from most of these practitioners is to either say, well, it's in your head, it's just anxiety. Here's an anti-anxiety med that will take care of it. Or, you're just really stressed. Sorry, you're just really stressed, and you're too stressed. And not giving then these women proper workups. So not doing the proper labs, not doing the proper imaging or diagnostics. And a lot of these health concerns go years misdiagnosed because we just don't believe women when they say there's something wrong. So a lot of these women that I've heard stories from, and I, again, hear this every single day at this point, know deep inside that there is something off, that it's not just in their head, that there is something going on that they can't explain, but they know that this is not normal for them and this is not, how their body normally functions. So I can share my own story. I had mentioned last year about being diagnosed with Meniere's, which thankfully, has been fine and well managed, all without medication, even though, of course, that was the first line of action that was pushed on me. But when I had brought this up to my primary care, I had happened to mention about we had some stressful things going on and kind of kicked myself afterwards because that became, well, maybe it's just stress. Maybe stress is the cause for this. And, when when another woman can say that to you and again dismiss, okay, well, but could it be thyroid? Could it be other hormone imbalance? Could it be a viral thing? Could it be inflammation? What are all these other things going on? Stress for women is kind of the one thing we glom onto. And I'm not saying that things are not attributed to stress. I do see a lot in my practice that stress does play a role. As women nowadays, we do kind of take on a lot with the family and also working. We kind of have many, many hats and roles we fill. But if stress is the only thing that someone comes back with and they don't do a thorough evaluation and check labs and other things to at least rule out other causes, then that is not a good practitioner and a good provider. I'll just say it. That is a lazy practitioner who is not giving you the due diligence and the thorough health care that you deserve. So I think it's very important as women, and I know I've said this before, but to really advocate for yourself. But if you hear from someone after them maybe getting 5 minutes of information and dismissing it as stress, push back and ask more questions and say, well, okay, it could be stress, but what about these other things? Can we do workups for that? I've had women that have had life-threatening issues be dismissed and told, oh, it's normal, when they knew something was going on and had almost died because they weren't getting proper health care from it. I've had other women who told me that their doctors kind of gave up on them and told them to basically figure it out themselves, which is shocking. Trying to think of any other general examples. I mean, it goes on and on, but really the theme comes back over and over and over again that we just, for whatever reason, we don't believe women when they say they're suffering. So I would love to hear from you if you feel like sharing below kind of your experience in the healthcare system and how maybe your concerns have been dismissed or, you know, were overlooked. But I would say just keep trying, don't give up, keep looking for that healthcare practitioner that's going to believe you and take your concerns seriously. And that kind of takes me to my last point of why in medicine we have what are called CCs, or it's called the chief complaint. And I was taught in medical school by a great mentor, and I've taken this with me because it makes so much sense, is I always refer them as chief concerns and not chief complaints, because what better way to dismiss someone's issues by calling it a complaint than to use more compassionate language as a concern? It's something they're concerned about, not that they're nagging and complaining that it's an issue. So there's a lot that comes with even just our language when it comes to medicine. So again, hopefully that wasn't too much of a rant. I was trying not to go down that road too much, but it was really infuriating how dismissive a lot of healthcare practitioners can be, even in the alternative world, not just conventional. I've seen it in multiple different types of practitioners. So don't assume because someone is more on the integrative side that means they're better. So again, I would love to hear from you, at least so we can share the rage and kind of make the change and you know, make healthcare better for women. And I feel like once we start pushing back, that's when things can really change. So thank you for watching and letting me rage a little bit. And I will be back in a couple weeks with the actual regular health video and a health topic. And I hope you all have a good rest of the week.